Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Zakanik, for a beautiful speech and also a lot of scientific evidence about science and Islam. I would like to touch about medicine and Islam. Okay, my name is Dr. Afiq. I'm a medical doctor. Pardon me?
Can you repeat the last sentence you'd like to touch on?
Medicine and Islam.
Medicine.
Yeah,
Medicine.
yeah.
What is medicine?
Medicine.
Medicine, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's my...
Okay.
Medicine
and Islam.
Yes, sir.
Okay. As I were to quote from your speech, religion without science is blind. Okay. Allah is the only healer, and no human can heal any disease without His permission. However, some people in Malaysia believe that only by praying without seeing medical treatment or seek any medical attention, they can get a cure. Some says the current medical practice is far from Islamic way, and they also claim that Western agenda has tried to weaken our Muslim society from the health perspective. For example, I would like to give, when a patient in end-stage renal failure, okay, was suggested for dialysis, he or she might refuse the treatment because he believed that Allah can heal him or her. At the same time, he also doesn't want or afraid that he might be the victim of the Western agenda. So the question is, as a Muslim, are we allowed to choose a risky decision for our health of life, although there are clinicals and also evidence-based solutions to preserve and protect it? Thank you.
The brother asked a very good question. He asked a question on medicine and Islam, and he said there are some Muslims who believe that it is Allah who heals, and even I believe Allah is the only one who heals, and Allah says Huwa Shafi, He's the only one who heals. But we have to follow His guidance, very important. There are some Muslims who believe that only Allah's healing is sufficient, we don't have to go to a doctor. We have one set. Other people who believe only medical doctors are sufficient, taking allopathy is sufficient. Allah says in the Quran in Surah Nisa chapter 4 verse 171, La taglu fi dinukum. Do not commit excess in your religion. This is excessive. Yes, if someone says that I will read the verses of the Quran and can be cured, yes, it's possible. Quran is ruqyah. Allah says in Surah Isra chapter number 17 verse number 81 and 2, it says وَقُلْ جَاءَ لَكَ وَذَاكَ الْبَاطِلِ إِنَّ الْبَاطِلَ كَانَ زَهُوقًا وَنُنَزِّلُ الْقُرْآنَ عَلَىٰ وَالشِّفَاءُ وَرَحْمَةٌ لِلْعَالَمِينَ وَلَا يَزِيدُ الظَّالِمِينَ إِلَّا خَسَارًا. That when truth is heard against falsehood, falsehood perishes. But falsehood is by its nature bound to perish. Quran is a healing for the believers, and for the others it is nothing but loss. So what we have to realize, unfortunately, we have Muslims going on extreme. They say anything Western, haram. Some say anything Western, great. So we have been so much impressed with Western world that we're head over heels. And some people are so much against that, khalas, everything haram. What we have to do is a balance. We are ummat-e-wast. Now, what you have to realize, Allah says in the Quran, yes, number one to heal is Allah. But if you have to believe in Allah, you have to follow Allah. Allah says in the Quran in Surah Nahl chapter 16 verse 43 and Surah Anbiya chapter 21 verse number 7, Fas'alu ahli zikri in kuntum la ta'lamun. If you don't know, ask the person who is knowledgeable. So if you are sick, Allah says go to a doctor. If you don't go to a doctor, you are not following Allah. Fine, you can even go to a ruqya. You can go to a Raqi also, no problem. Go to a Raqi. He may cure you, no problem. But that doesn't mean only go to Raqi. So, if you are sick, Quran doesn't say go to a Muslim doctor. If you find a Muslim, good. If you find a non-Muslim, no problem. So if you don't know, that means Quran is telling, if you are sick, you go to a doctor. If you want knowledge, you go to a teacher. So, going to the doctor is compulsory. If you say, I will not go to a doctor, it is wrong. It is wrong. You have to go. Yes, if he's telling you to do something haram and you don't follow, that's different. But most of the doctors don't tell you haram. If you tell you renal dialysis, it's allowed. Quran says in Surah Baqarah chapter 2 verse 173, Surah Ma'idah chapter 5 verse number 3, in Surah Anam chapter 6 verse 145, and Surah Nahl chapter 16 verse number 115, Hurrimat alaykumul maytatu waddamu walahmul khinzir, wama uhilla li ghayrillah bi, forbidden for you for food, dead meat, blood, flesh of swine, and any food on which any name besides Allah's name is taken. But if you unwillingly disobey Allah, Allah is Rahman Rahim. Means if you are in a boat and you are dying of hunger, and if only pork is there to save your life, you can eat pork also. Normally pork is haram. But if you are on a boat and you have no food supply, your boat is in the sea for days together, once you come on shore, again pork becomes haram. Hello. If you know that alcohol is the only drug that can save you, alcohol is haram. Yes, don't have alcohol in cough syrup. You know, some people want to have beer because they are feeling cold. That is haram. If you are feeling cold, have honey. Honey keeps you more warm than the beer. But you don't get the kick in the honey what you get in the beer. So in Islam, you have to take Quran as a whole. So if you are sick, it's compulsory you should go to a doctor. If you don't have money to go and you don't go, then Allah will forgive you. But if you say no, it is wrong, that is what Allah is saying. So you have to understand Islam as a whole, not just in parts. So Quran says, go to an expert. If you are sick, you have to go. If you know, if there is some treatment which is the only treatment that can save your life, even if it's haram, it becomes permissible. But if it's a treatment which is not a major treatment, like cough syrup, and if you have alcohol, it is wrong. Because that's a small thing. You can have other drugs which is non-alcoholic, which can yet cure your problem. Hope that answers the question.
Thank you.